Springtime. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I want to talk to you. This is a beautiful day. Springtime in USA. I want to talk about a subject, a little topic right quick that's very rarely discussed, and it's uncles. I was talking to my aunt last night, and I lost my favorite uncle. Name was Uncle Earl. I had four uncles when I was coming up. Uncle TC, Uncle JB, Uncle Earl, and Uncle Micey. Each one of them were different. Each one of them impacted my life different. So I think a lot of times people forget about we got unsung heroes in our life, and uncles I think are one of them. I try to be a good uncle to all my nieces and nephews. I don't know if I reach that plateau or not. You'll have to ask each and every one of them. You're different things to different people. So my Uncle TC was a legend because he was older than the rest of them, and my mother said they all looked at him as if he was their father because my grandmother raised them by herself. She was a single mother. Then my Uncle JB, he liked guns. He had every blues album that was ever made. My Uncle JB had that. He was a stickler for jewelry, and he was a neat freak, and he was a really clean person. I learned to be neat from my Uncle JB because one day he had this little bitty Bible in his room that he kept on his dresser, and everything in his room was organized and neat. And he could tell if anybody touched any of his stuff just by looking inside. So one day, my grandmother sent me into his room, and that Bible was there, and I was so intrigued. I picked the little Bible up and opened it up. A little baby Jesus popped out in the manger, and I thought that was really cool. Later on in my life, I got one of those because I really love that little trinket, little locket that went around your neck. But I put it back, I thought, in the exact same spot that I had picked it up. My Uncle JB came home from work, saw that it had been moved, and said, "Who's been in my room?" Now, he already knew the only person that was there other than my grandmother would be me because I would run in and out all the time. I was always with my grandma. But anyway, so I said I did it. I didn't even try to lie. I didn't believe in lying even as a little kid. And because I didn't lie and told the truth, he just scolded me and said, "Don't ever touch anything else in my room. Don't ever go in my room again." And I was glad because back then you got your butt whooped, but he let me go because I told the truth. Anyway, that was Uncle JB. Then we get to Uncle Earl. I got to come back to Uncle Earl because he was my favorite uncle. But the baby boy in the family was Uncle Micey. My grandmother called me her baby boy, but my Uncle Micey was like my big brother, but he's still my uncle. But anyway, Uncle Micey was cool. He was a gambler when he was young. He was into all kinds of stuff. Young men are. But I always admire my Uncle Micey because he always had a lot of money. He always had women. He was just cool. And so he was the best gambler in the whole Midwest at one point for almost a decade. And he ended up being a gangster for a while, and then once he got out of all that lifestyle, he became a policeman and an enforcer. He worked at the school. Everybody knew him. Everybody loved him, that was my Uncle Micey, the enforcer. Now let's get to my Uncle Earl. My Uncle Earl, who was right over Uncle Micey, was when he was young. He would gamble with Uncle Micey, but he was a bad gambler. But see, Uncle Earl to me was out of his element because his true calling was being my aunt's husband, and he was ended up being a minister. And that's why he became the spiritual leader in my life because my Uncle Earl always had the right thing to say, he could be mean and nice and caring at the same time, tough and caring at the same time, disciplinarian but loving at the same time. He just had he was a man that could, even though he might have been hard, he was loving. And that was a rare quality that you saw in people, especially, and in men. And I emulated myself, tried to be like that part of my uncle because he was direct to the point, took care of business, went to work, took care of his family, became a man of God, always had something inspirational, help you through anything. And all of these uncles left something with me that I try to incorporate into who I am. So uncles are, to me, very important, but that's just to me, and that, I know they were important in my life. I don't know how they are, how your uncles are in your life. But if you got, a woman is raising a child by herself, those uncles can be instrumental in shaping and molding that son, that nephew, like my uncles were. And I had both my parents, my biological mother and father I grew up with. But my uncles still played a key and vital role in my life, So shout out to all the uncles out there, especially my uncles who made me who I am today. So I wouldn't be who I am. My Uncle Earl, like I said, when I couldn't talk to my dad and I didn't trust nobody else, brothers, not even my own dad, I could talk to my uncle. Because I know he's going to tell me the right thing, the spiritual thing, the godly thing, lead me in the right direction. So I miss him because he's gone. But all my uncles are gone. But he was the last one. My favorite was the last one to leave, and it hurts by him being gone. So this is a tribute to my uncles, but especially my Uncle Earl, who was my favorite uncle, because now when I need somebody to talk to, he's not there. Now when I need somebody, some serious sound advice and stuff that I know, godly advice, he's not there. Everybody is gone in my life that was instrumental to me. But I got my dad, he's still here. And I'm blessed and I'm thankful for that. But I think people don't give uncles enough recognition, enough praise. Matter of fact, anybody that's doing anything for you in your life and making changes in your life, if you appreciate what they do, give them a call and let them know. It's important to give people their roses while they live. It don't do any good to wait till a person die and they laid out in a casket and you go and say, "Oh, I love." No. They can't hear you. They gone. If they mean anything to you and they're alive right now, you have the opportunity to call them or stop by and see them and spend some time with them, take them to lunch, then do so. Because once people are gone, they gone. They can't hear you. And the only way you'll ever get to see them again is in the next life. And that's if you make it to the right place. So anyway, shout out to all the uncles out there. This Papa B. I'm Papa B. Shout out to all the uncles out there. Much love. Keep on holding everything down. Be that other leg of the family, that's instrumental in getting stuff done, because we do make a difference, And so this is just my point of view and how I feel about men, men stepping up and being men. And shout out to all the black men out there that's now standing up, stepping up, and holding the families down, claiming our position as head of the household, and doing what we got to do to reclaim our status and our position, and run and nurture and be the strength, the protector, provider for our houses. And it ain't got nothing to do with money. Money just a tool to get the things done and the lifestyle that you want to provide for your house. Use money as a tool. Don't let money become your God. Most men don't. We know the difference. So that's one of the difference between us, because we're about getting things done. I know I am. I'm all about, as my uncles taught me, all about getting stuff done. Shout out, much love, much peace to all my brothers out there. Hold it down. God bless.